गणपतिगं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणस्पत न शृण्वन्नोतिभिस्सीदसादनम् ॐ श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। सरस्वत्यै नमो नित्यं भद्रकाल्यै नमो नमः। वेदान्त विद्यास्थानेभ्य एव च। ॐ नमः प्रणवार्ताय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। यो गुरुः स शिवः प्रोक्तः यः शिवः स गुरुः स्मृतः विकल्पं यस्तु कुर्वीत स नरो गुरुतल्पः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्धधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीं। नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयः प्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रैत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दुग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्ससुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे, श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे, श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे, गोविंद हरे मुरारे। हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा। हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव, नाथ नारायण वासुदेव, श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे, श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे, श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे। हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव, हे नाथ नारायण, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव, 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 श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे, श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव, 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 वासुदेव। बोलिए श्री कृष्णचंद्र भगवान की, श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की। नमः पार्वती पतये, हर हर हरि ओम। We'll chant from श्लोक नंबर 41। श्री भगवानुवाच प्राप्य पुण्यकृतान् लोकान् उषित्वा शाश्वती समाः शुचीनां श्रीमताङ्गेः योगभ्रष्टोऽभिजायते अथवा योगिनामेव कुले भवति धीमताम् एतद्धि दुर्लभतरम् लोके जन्म यदीदृशम् तत्र तं बुद्धिसंयोगम् लभते पौर्वदेहिकम् यतते च ततो भूयः संसिद्धौ कुरु नन्दन पूर्वाभ्यासेन तेनैव ह्रियते ह्यवशोऽपि सः जिज्ञासुरपि योगस्य शब्दवत् ब्रह्माति वर्तते प्रयत्नाद्यतमानस्तु योगी संशुद्ध किल्बिषः अनेक जन्म संसिद्धः ततो याति परां गतिम् ततो याति परां गतिम्. We had seen that Arjun was little worried. Somebody followed the path of sannyas, and in that process, if like the worldly person wanted some money and he strives to get money, say he wants to get 100 million, why to aim small? When you imagine something, imagine big. Why less than 100 million? And he strived for that. And he could not get, and he left his house and used to went to business places, foreign countries, and there also he couldn't get. And he left his house to get money, but ultimately he passed away. So people will say, see, he didn't have the joy of being in the house, and also he didn't get the money. He wasted his effort. So from that viewpoint, Arjuna was thinking, not understanding that the spiritual life is a different way. In the case of one losing the money, or not getting the money, and not even enjoying the house, family, living with the family, it is understood that he lost both. So he won't get the money also, and neither he is going to get back the house also. Because his goal is outside somewhere. But when it comes to spiritual path, if somebody has left all money or family member or job or his comfort, and he goes out to search God or goes out to meditate as Vividisha sannyasi, then the point is that supposing he passes away in between, in other case the money which he pursued was outside and therefore he lost. But here in this case, the Atma, what he wants to know is cannot be lost. Are you getting the point? In the former case, the money which he wanted, he lost that money. And after death he cannot, or he was building a house and he could not get into the house. And therefore he cannot get back the same house which he was building. But in this case of Yog Prashna, he is pursuing the knowledge of the self. And therefore that knowledge of the self, that self is not gone anywhere. And therefore, and that samskar that he had accumulated, that vasana also is not there. The self-knowledge is more oriented toward building up vasana or samskar. And therefore self is also there and vasana to know that self is also there. So both are well secured. It is more an internal work and therefore there is no loss as such. And therefore Bhashakar writes, Na dirgha kalastasya pi vinasha tasyasti. Even though, this is page 194, first paragraph. even though hundreds of years may pass. Supposing he started this in 20th century, seeker, and he went to heaven, and he came back in 30th century. Thousands of years have passed, supposing. Still he will have the same sanskar, frozen and kept. Na dirgha kalasthasyapi vinasha tasyasti. What a good system of God is there. Cold storage system is very good. He may do anything else, he may do anything else, he may go anywhere, he may have. But somewhere inside, this is Bharat's Prasang you say. Even he went to the womb of an deer. He did not lose that thought or that vritti. He did not lose. This special arrangement is there in the God's creation. And therefore one should not get very impatient that, I am losing the time. Sometimes you can't rush up all these things. As Gurudev said, spiritual process is evolution. It cannot be revolution. You can't force beyond the limit to yourself also. You can hasten, but slowly. You can hasten slowly. So he continues his sadhana. In the next birth, when he comes back, yesterday I was mentioning about the spiritual failure of the last birth is the spiritual prodigy of this birth. But he was a struggler, now he is a champion. Where he was very down, the failure, Jad Bharat failure, being attached to deer, was a big champion when he became the Jad Bharat in the third birth. Because he had realized certain things during the passage of the time. And sometimes after certain failures, the person's progress is very fast also. This is mentioned here. And if you remember Saubhari Rishi example I gave many times, who was attached to, he was doing Sandhya Vandan or doing some puja, etc. In the river he saw one fish couple playing with each other, fish. And that made his life fishy. So, imagine which samskar came up. And he was not young or such thing. It is written in Bhagavad Kampit Shiraha. He was so old that his head was shivering like that, trembling like that. Imagine he must be above 90 years, like that. And there he goes to Mandhata. He said, I want to marry your daughter. Mandhata said, if I say no, he will curse. He said, you go and see which daughter likes you. If they like you, you marry. I am not saying no. So Mandhata gave a diplomatic answer. He said, which girl will like him? But he was a tapasvi, so he changed his form and he became a youngster. 16, 17-year-old youngster. Don't be surprised, these things can happen. If you also do tapasya, you look younger slightly. Oh. And then he had 50 daughters, Mandhata. And when he goes inside, so all 50 ran, I want to marry you. They start fighting with each other, all sisters. He said, don't fight. I'll marry all. And then he got married and he went to certain places. And somebody was giving him food, somebody was giving him pan, somebody was pressing his feet, and he was drowned in the sensual pleasures. When one wife we get so attached, howsoever he may or she may be, what to say of one who has 50 good wives? And he didn't die. This was enough. But he forgot. He forgot everything. He was so absorbed, and one day he just asked, "Where is my Sandhya Vata? Where is my vessel? Where is my heaven god?" 50 laughters he heard. Ha 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 ha. He said, "Why are you laughing?" He said, "You had left it long back." Then his eyes went up. And that very moment, his samskar of doing the meditation was so strong that the samskar of living with the wife was totally subjugated by this samskar. And he said, "Oh, Paschime Vinasham, what a fall I had." It took so much effort to come there and I am so attached. That moment only he went to forest and meditated. Only one thing happened, all 50 also went with him. He said, "I won't talk to you, I will just be meditating, you do whatever, don't disturb me." He in a second dropped all attachment. Imagine, because the samskar of detachment was already there, it was just pressed. It was suppressed by one thought. And that samskar came up, and this samskar was totally gone. Listen, he changed all of a sudden. He didn't change. That was already there hiding inside. It just came up like that. And ultimately, he became Siddh in that manner. This Yog Bhrasht, he comes to the next birth. You heard Purva Abhyaseni Tenaiva Hriyate Yavashopisa. Forcefully, at a very young age, I told you Yog Bhrasht has some conditions. Number one, he doesn't need a guru. Number two, his attention is not less on listening and more on meditating. Remember that. Number three, his little spark is required to trigger the bulk of thought of self. Little spark. Not that you have to tell him for 30 years teaching is still nothing happened. People say, we are doing so much, but we are not changing. Not like that. Because it is like embers are already there and it is covered by the ashes. So he will be another class of the person. Maybe people will say that he is fool. People said to Jad Bharat he is fool. He will not study. He has no value for anything. He is the same Jad Bharat who lived with the family in last to last birth. He had 100 children. No, not 100 children, there should be 100. And in that birth now what he does? Very typical cases are there. Everybody is a typical case in that case. Prayatnad yatamanastu. These are the topics which tell the importance of doing sadhana and meditation. Now when he is reborn, the word prayatnad yatamanastu. His nature is such from the beginning that reaction, retaliation, etc. are very less in his nature. Tolerance is very high in the nature. Sitting quietly for long is more in the nature. Maybe he is helping, maybe he is not helping. Like Swami Shivananda's nature was more to helping the people. He used to go, he was in Malaysia, he was a doctor. And after Malaysia, he came to India. First, he wasn't born in South India only, but he went to Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, I think. And after that, he went to Rishikesh. So when he went to Rishikesh, his guru was for very short time, I think. But that itself was enough for him. So his development was like that. He wanted to help a lot. Many sannyasis were in Rishikesh who were old, diseased. Anyone who knew used to go with his, all the medicine box and everything, treat them, sometimes give bath, sometimes clean them. So these things were there in his nature. But Taponji did not have this nature. He preferred to live somewhere very exclusive. At that time, Uttarkashi, hardly anybody was there. At that time, Uttarkashi, nobody was there. Very few people were there. He didn't like people to be around him. So his samskar was different. He just wanted to meditate and sit. If you see, you can make it out what the past was of the person, where he will progress. Both were contemporaries although. Both were friends rather. So when he used to come to Rishikesh, he used to stay, there is a room in Rishikesh, Taponji used to stay there. There is one video also where he used to stay. अब उनका स्वभाव अलग अलग है. Shivanand used to talk a lot, give a lot of discourses, travel all over India. But Tapovan Maharaj never talked on mic and never organized any public lecture. Although he was Vidwan, he had written books in Sanskrit, verses in Sanskrit. But he said, no, I don't want to talk on this. So nature is different. Somebody may be very active, somebody will be very inactive, somebody will be very devotion oriented, somebody is very meditation oriented. Somebody may do a lot of practice, somebody may not do practice. About Shriya Baba, you know what was him? He never liked playing. As a 14, 15-year-old, they went out and all the children were jumping and playing and, hitting to get a mango from the mango orchard. And they were hitting and the master of that place came and all boys ran away. He could not run away. And they beat him also, but he didn't react to it. So different natures are there. But some saints have a lot of tolerance in them. Because their subhava has to be very, not only with dispassion, but titiksha is very high of these people. Sham is very high, dam, uprati, very withdrawn nature is there. Shat sampatti is very developed, titiksha is there, shraddha is there. Titiksha is so much that cholera was spread all over and people were dying. So he also fell in that and people thought he is dead and he was thrown with the dead body, Baba. So when they were having a mass cremation, then they say this person is moving. Just check, ये मुर्दा है कि जिंदा है भाई? He is dead or he is alive? ये तो जिंदा दिख रहा है, कोई ऐसे से हर रहा है. And then with all dirt, he was taken out. इतनी तितिक्षा होती है इनके में. You read about them, you see them, it's different. Sometimes, because they are on the road, India it rains a lot, so they are standing under a tree, and totally wet. And pneumonia, they caught up pneumonia. So earlier the Ayurvedic medicines were there, it used to have late effect. There is no doctor sometimes to treat them. बहुत तितिक्षा होती है. Shat Sampatti, if it is not developed, he won't be a sannyasi as he have come to the yoga. Prasht. Or Shama is there, Dama is there. Whatever they get, they will eat. Shraddha is there. Tapovan Maharaj himself, he came from Kerala to Varanasi. So much Shraddha was there that there was no organization. Just going and sleeping anywhere and eating anything and sometimes not eating. This life of Bhiksha is very difficult. You go to houses and you ask and you may get, you may not get anything. It's very qualified person. Nature is not changing. Following or not? Kyun bhai? Not following. Mokalpur Baba, what I talked many times about him. His father, and there is a place called Vindhyachal. Have you gone? Vindhyachal? Not gone. Vindhyachal. You not gone Vindhyachal? Gone na with Chaha. They were Brahmin but beggars. Father and mother. They used to beg and they need something. I think in between it happened that some mother or father died. And ultimately he was left orphan. And when he was left orphan, then there was a band of sannyasis. They were going to Rameshwaram. So they went to Rameshwaram. He followed. Ultimately he came. No satsang, nothing. And he got so much of devotion for Ganga Ma. He just ran and just Ma. 40 years he used to live on the island in Ganges only, alone. Up to live there with heat, cold, wind is not that easy, no? So I'm just telling that nature is different. They are cut from a different slab. Oh, that means I am not Yoga Brahmash because I am very angry. I want sandwich. You can be, who can say? Who can say that? I'll not tell about more saints are coming in my house, in my mind. One saint was there. One person was there. So he was not working. So his bhabi used to feed him. So while taking the food, he said, "Give me more salt." Then she said, "Why don't you earn?" He left the home there itself for Bombay. In Bombay, he got the place of in some hotel, he got a place, restaurant rather, as a cleaner of that. And one person came while he was cleaning. He said, whatever you get, be ready to leave everything. He didn't understand what he said. He hardly got anything. But the boss of the hotel died and he gave the whole thing to him. So he became the head of the hotel. And then the same man came, he said, "I told you that day when you you are going as a cleaner, washing the dishes. Now come with me. He left everything. And he took him to a place in Madhya Pradesh. And in the cave he said, you just meditate for 10 years. Never, don't see sunlight. Just meditate. Nobody will talk to. And I will clean your dirt, I'll clean your clothes, but cave you will not come out. And after 10 years he became Jnani. I think his name was Swami Krishnananda, I forgot his name. And Guru said, now you go. तो आदमी की कुछ होता है. Let me now complete 45th श्लोक. प्रयत्नाद् यतमानस्तु योगी संशुद्ध किल्बिषः. अनेक जन्म, this श्लोक we are seeing. ना? अनेक जन्म संसिद्धः ततो याति पराम गतिम्. Very important श्लोक is there. Yatmanastu. You know what is the sadhana? Creating one thought. Intense, all-pervasive thought for a very long time. Whole sadhana is whether bhakti or Vedanta. One intense thought, all-pervasive thought, and for a long time. Like when a person is angry, he is very intense. And that thought pervades for a long time. No explanation required. Will I have your food? I won't have food. And to have intense thought, you should not have many vasanas. Many vasanas will disturb your intensities. Supposing you love somebody and many people are there and you have to love together, or you have to see somebody, or you have to give attention to somebody. You cannot give attention intensely to one person if many persons you love at the same time. Therefore, anywhere where you need intensity, there you should not be distracted by many other things. Are you getting my point? Similarly, the gharanas are there, singing gharanas. They don't mix the gharanas. That this gharana will not play there. They are not supposed to sing that gharana song. Traditionally, they forget about film song. Other gharana song they won't sing. Well, you will disturb that intensity what I am trying to build. This fusion is confusion only, which is very popular nowadays. Fusion is there. वो सब पागलपंती है, वो कभी भी इंटेंसिटी नहीं आएगी. If you keep on changing, Gurudev used to say, one politician came, he was changing the parties very frequently. Gurudev said, if you change the pot very frequently, how the plant will grow? To bring intensity, you should have one samskar. Therefore, a tabla player will not be a singer. He should not be. If he is singer also, so he has to give attention to that. He has two samskar, of tabla player also, of singer also. So he will never be the best. Very rarely somebody may be one in crores or somebody. One who is singer, he will not be a dancer. He'll compromise. One who is doctor, he won't be engineer. Because two samskar will demand its own thoughts. And all sadhana is to develop one strong sanskar of Brahmakar vritti or one strong sanskar of your Ishtadevata. Either. And I have samskar of men also, women also, house also, money also, then forget about it. And you need intense samskar because the samskar of ignorance, etc. are very intense. To counter it, you need intensity in that. My samskar about the world is very, very strong. I am a father, I am a mother, I am a daughter, I am a child. This is real. World is very real. World is important. World has sukh. I am empty. This is a very strong samskar. After listening, it doesn't go. You need a wholehearted approach. Full approach is required. And last time he missed the bus because other samskar also were coexisting and they didn't allow the samskar of the world to go away. And therefore he missed it. Is it clear now? And therefore the word which is used here in 45th slok is prayatnat yatmana. Both appear same word. And Bhashikar writes beautifully. He says yatman means who puts effort. But prayatnat, he said, then will be same word. He said no, prayatnat means adhikam yatmana. He puts more effort now. He differentiates. Otherwise pururakti dosh will be there. It's called fault of repetition. You cannot repeat the same word, same meaning. So prayatnat means he puts more effort. You have to create a vasana for something. One samskar is there. Then only you will be very intense. Mirabai had only Krishna samskar. She didn't have husband samskar or money samskar. Joy was only one strong samskar. All samskar were all diminishing. And therefore everything is an effort if you don't have samskar. If you don't have samskar, I cannot manage. Supposing you ask me to sit on the business house and take the money or count the cash or just sit there, don't do anything, just sit there. I cannot sit for 10-20 minutes, I will run away. There is no samskar. And those people who are on the counter, they sit for 40-50 years. Which I wonder, how do they sit? Because their samskar is different. I can sit on the Vyaspit. There I can sit for many hours, but not there. There is not my area. That vasana is not developed. Therefore, some people have meditation vasanas. And their meditation vasana can be so strong that they can meditate for 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, 10 hours. And by meditating, they create more of that vasana. And because of the reason of last birth's vasana, this vasana virod is there. One vasana says, world is their negative vasana, world has joy, world has completeness, I have incompleteness. This Vedanta vasana says, world is false, world doesn't have joy, and I am of the nature of completeness. So this samskar tries to counter that samskar. Samskar counters another samskar. They fight and they win. Your samskar when you were living in the home was different. Yes, that the samskar of living in the ashram has overpowered the samskar of living in the home now. So if you live here continuously and you go home, you will feel where I have come. Where is the temple bell? Where is the, Govind? Or where is the... And you feel out of place. You wonder where you are. I don't know I am making any sense or not. You wonder where I am. People are coming talking, how are you? How was the rugby match? South Africa won, this, that. And that we are going for a film tomorrow. Acha? Which film you are going? Because you talk, you to ask some question. Which film you are going? I am going for that particular film. Michael on the cycle. So I'm going on that. Very nice film is there and that is there. That's samskar of the home because it has become feeble. You wonder, kahan bhage yaar, ye log pagal log. And the person is talking. Some are motor mouth. They keep on talking. They bring point from another point. They will see, I don't want to talk because I am not a speaker. There are two kinds of speaker. One we get here and one we get in the market. But that market speaker, I don't like that. Because the market now is going very high. After this war, the market has all soared up. I don't know how this war will go, this Palestine war and all these things. I think Israel is winning. Israel is very good country. I think Israel is that which has soared high. And I think India is supporting Israel. And तुम कहाँ से कहाँ पहुँच गए? And you just nod your head. Yes. Inside you are off. Outside you are showing to be on. So sometimes, they bring out a nice actor, actress out of you. When you come here, because you are not fitting in there. You are not unfit, you are misfit. You are fit for something else. And then you are very serious there in the house. Because that samskar of ashram satsang is hungry of solitude. And here what is given, you don't want it. You get more irritated. Where is Swamiji's satsang? Where is that? I'm just giving you a very gross example. Imagine one who has the samskar of living in solitude or meditating, and you take him to all these places. Dhruv had a son. His name was Vatsar. He was the elder son. He said, do everything, don't give me the kingdom. He said, but you will become king. He said, I don't want to become king. Please allow me to go to the forest somewhere and let me be quiet. आपका एक संस्कार ही तो बढ़ाना है. And the world is finite. World has joy. He is my son, my daughter, my chinku, my pinku, my grandson, my granddaughter, my aunt. Acha? Haan, my aunt. All these are just a vasana. Sense of joy, sense of completeness, sense of importance, is a vasana hi hai. Therefore, Yoga Vashishtha, I was so surprised. It defines moksha as vasana kshayo moksha. It did not say knowledge of the self is moksha. He said vasana kshayo moksha. The exhaustion of the vasana itself is moksha. ये वासना ही तो है और क्या है? I have superimposed something on something which is not there. And I don't have completeness, I don't have inner joy, I am incomplete, I cannot live without you. ये सब का notions है. So when you live a meditative life, when you live a very contemplative life, slowly this impression of meditative life is so overpowering. You are increasing your samskar bank. Like you have a bank, FNB or a standard bank. Whatever bank, I don't know other bank. Citibank is here. You don't have Citibank. Some other bank is there. And whenever you get some money, you just deposit it there. Every time you get some money, deposit. And depositing, by the time, Provident Fund and all these things, by the time you are 55, 60, so it has come to 2 million, 3, 4 million. 30 years you are depositing, from your salary also something went. And you also had deposited, so it has become 5 million. Bit by bit. Similarly, this seeker, every birth, he is depositing the samskar in the meditation samskar bank. Earlier he could meditate for half an hour, now he can meditate for 2 hours. Slowly it has increased so much. And FD is mature now. It is written here. Anekeshu janmasu kinchit samskar jatan upchitya. Every birth he has little samskar he has developed. Upchitya means collected. Tena upachitena anek janmkritena samsiddha. And therefore he has become pure, totally samshuddha kilbisha. There is no calm samskar, there is no krodh samskar, he has no thought, he has no desire of thinking he is mine. ये सब खत्म हो गया उसका. उसकी नहीं इच्छा होती कुछ. So for his ya nisha sarbhuta nam tasyam jagrata semi. For what is others, for it's a very big issue, for him it is no issue at all. उसको चुपचाप रहने दो. Don't force him anything. He has gone ahead now. You cannot pull him down now. And therefore it is anek janma samsiddha tato yati param giti. So the seeker's anek janma is there. This is many births, because one birth little only you gather. Supposing you are born next birth. So if you are born next birth, so your samskar will be more of coming in the ashram, because already you have the samskar now. So when you had not come in the ashram life and you had not listened to satsang, compare that day and today. So there is a big difference between that. Earlier you could live in the satsang, you can have friends, but now that vasanas have changed. So when you will pass away, fortunately, so when you will pass away, when all will pass away, and supposing you don't have moksha, so next birth, your very demand will be different. And when demand will be different, and you have punya, so you will be born, and it will be much different perspective that what mistakes you had made in this birth, you are unlikely to make in the next birth. Will you suffer? I will not be the same person. No, but do the same thing as you lived in. No, I would not. Who stopped you? Nobody stopped me, but I am understanding it was. You are another person totally. And another 60, 70 years you get in the next birth. Imagine you will have changed in other manner. And again pass away. Again third birth when you get. You will be, every birth you will be getting more and more sadhana oriented vasana. And you will become more contemplative, more dispassionate, more reclusive. And this way one day, tato yati param gatim, you will know the self. Well, thank you. But money chow can I get in the next birth? Today we were talking about that. She showed the photograph. What photograph? I saw him eating. Many times here they have made. Many times. Money chow. They bring the whole bread thing without the cutting, and they put a space, and that beans curry they put in. Same thing is, no? हाँ तो वही तो है. Because they were saying that they order 40 bunnies. I said, what is bunnies? So I didn't know that is called bunny chow. Bunnies and bunny are same. Well, in the night, Sierra was saying that in the office, 40 bunnies were ordered. I thought, what is bunnies? And then they were telling that bunny comes with everything in it. It is packed. Or you have to put there, all packed. But how do they eat? It's so messed up all around. Huh? Because it is this big. So, they must have packed like that. Acha. It's interesting. He will have no desire also of having money chow. Well, that I cannot leave, I can leave meditation, but not that. That samskar is not there. Many things I'll tell about myself, what samskar I had, there is no thought of eating that also. Forget about people think, this is there, very you liked you once upon. I said, no. When I left my house, in my house, my parents stopped eating curd. Because every food I was having curd. So the moment they saw curd, they started crying. So they say, don't bring curd now in the food. So we are fond of curd, etc. But there is nothing that you need curd or something. Dr. Bhima's like, curd. Cat. Not, I said what? Cat. So that is not there. कितनी चीज छूट गई, कितनी चीज के संस्कार चले गए. I'm just telling that it is happening, it happens. Within 1 week I had to visit my mamas and with my nannies, and it was not possible that I don't visit them at all. I have to go there in their house and have something and I have to see them. So much of love. Aaj pata nahi, I think many 20 years must have passed. I have hardly seen anybody. Oh, samskari, neither there is any demand. With one birth this is possible. With little sadhana, we can, don't you feel in another birth is it all possible? You can change so many vasanas. Your priorities have changed, whom you love has changed, your talking style, your universities, your colleges, your schools. So don't think that this is something difficult. Within this birth you can see that how much sadhana samskar has come, how much solitude samskar has come. Maybe we cannot live, you can say I cannot do only solitude, but at least 1-2 hours you can be in your room, nobody disturbs you. 2-3 hours you can live in your room. And supposing that also you don't get some, when I go to India and all these places, this sort of. So morning class, 7 to 8:30. Then 9 o'clock people will come in, meet me. Then 9 to 10 meeting the people. Then 11 o'clock is a talk on some school college. So 12 o'clock, 12:30 is a bhiksha. I said, हमको तो time ही नहीं मिल रहा अपने लिए. Then you come back at 2 o'clock. I'm like, don't disturb now. Don't disturb at all. Don't knock my door, I will knock you down. Some people very good in knocking. Don't knock at all. I'll not open. लगता है कहाँ कब जाएंगे सब कब जाएंगे? Let them all go. Let me be quiet. कितना भिक्षा is very typical thing. 2 hours it takes. You have to talk a lot, ask everybody how. Then 20 people will come all around. Then they will say all, सबसे पूछना क्या हाल है, कैसे बोले, this is my mausi's, mama's, husband's child. आइए भाई वो एनवेलप दे रहे, ले ले एनवेलप ले लीजिए this. ओके रख दो इसको. आओ भाई तुम भी आओ, मनोज आओ, आओ स्वामी जी का प्रणाम करो स्वामी जी. मनोज he is a deputy director in that institute. अच्छा which institute? That institute is computer science institute in that college. अच्छा he is done IT in that year. अच्छा प्रणाम हरि ओम. तुम भी आ जाओ भाई. हे शीलू आप स्वामी जी को प्रणाम करो. स्वामी जी शीलू. अच्छा हाँ तो she is a business person. अच्छा she is expert in that particular company. She is good in chips. Potato chips? No. अरे नहीं भाई. Electrical chips. Oh, sorry. That chips, which is in the transistor and that is there in the electronic, that chips, she has done that. She has done from Cambridge University. अच्छा, okay. सबको सुनो, सबको बोलो, फिर सबको प्रसाद दो, ऐसे आओ तुम भी आ जाओ, तुम भी प्रसाद ले लो, ले लो, सब लोग प्रसाद. अरे इनका प्रसाद छूट गया, आओ तुम भी आओ. हे तुम भी आ जाओ भाई, तुम भी आओ. खाना छोड़ो, अरे वो प्लेट लिया हो, प्रसाद लो, मेरे सामने जा रहे हैं. वो बेचारा खाना छोड़ के प्रसाद लेना. प्रसाद दो सबको, फिर उठो, फिर पूछो कैसे हैं, हाउ आर यू, थैंक यू, वेरी गुड. डू यू थिंक ऑल आर वेरी प्लेजेंट जॉब? हमको लगता है भैया हमको छोड़ें, हम कमरा बंद करें अपना, आई क्लोज माई डोर बोले करें क्या? नथिंग, आई डोंट वांट टू सी एनीबॉडी, जस्ट रिमेन क्वाइट। कुछ नहीं, फोन ऑन, फोन देखेंगे नहीं, नो फोन, जस्ट कीप द फोन अवे, जस्ट क्लोज द आईज। संस्कार नहीं है वो। Or somebody says, today there is no bhiksha. So happy, no bhiksha. Very good, give the food here. No, but people are coming to meet. Mr. Malhotra is bringing the food. It is his guilt, bhiksha in the house. अरे यार छोड़ो हमको ना। एक बदल जाता है व्यक्ति भाई। And one samskar. Which samskar? World is false. I am complete. Aham Chaitanya. Manobodhya hankar chittaninam. न च श्रोत्र जिह्वे न च घ्राण नेत्रे न च व्योम भूमिर न तेजो न वायु चिदानंद रूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम् न च प्राण संज्ञो न वै पंचवायु न वा सप्त धातुर्न वा पंचकोश न वाक्पाणिपादौ न चोपस्थपायु चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम् न मे द्वेषरागौ न मे लोभमोहौ मदो नैव मे नैव मात्सर्यभावः न धर्मो न चार्थो न कामो न मोक्षः चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम् चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम्। ये उसका ये संस्कार है और उसी में रह कर। The closer you go to your own self, the lesser medium is between you and the self. The deeper is the fulfillment and long lasting. And that samskar is so full that the intensity is very high, the frequency is very high, and you don't come back so easily. इसी को लिखा है। And one day, this Brahmakar vritti takes away the Ajnan and he is Jivan Mukt, which you saw in Mundaka Upanishad. Last 2-3 verses. Gata kala panchadasha pratishtha devascha sarve prati devataso karmani vijnanmayascha atma sarve avyayeki bhavanti. ठीक है। अब this completes such a subject what Arjun had asked actually. मतलब it will change. And therefore, whatever sadhana you do, even little you do, it creates a vasana in you, and one should change. Then Bhagavan concludes in 46th and 47th shlok. The topic is over almost. He is winding up in 46th shlok, the subject matter of 6th chapter. By glorifying the yogi, he is glorifying the yoga. By glorifying the meditator, he is glorifying the meditation. Let's chant. Tapasvibhyo diko yogi. Tapasvibhyo diko yogi. ज्ञानिभ्योऽपि मतोऽधिकः कर्मिभ्यश्चाधिको योगी तस्माद् योगी भवार्जुन. You know, a person starts as a man of action. He does selfish action. I am earning, I am reacting to situation, I have likes. In Karma Yoga, he dilutes his reaction, high level of acceptability from the world and high level of offering to the world. These two things makes a Karma Yogi. Slowly after becoming Karma Yogi, he increases the punya and some person comes and then he becomes upasak. How Karma Yoga changes to upasak? Because when I surrender my action, I think I get more help than what I had expected. Somebody else had helped me. Individual business you do, or individual something, you will not get that much of support. Moment it is surrendered action, you feel, I think somebody else had taken over my work. I don't know how it happened, but it happened. So man of selfish action should converge into man of devoted action. Dynamic nahi, devoted. He is very dynamic. Dynamic can be dynamite, but dynamic should change to devoted action. So devoted action means he works a lot, but in his there is no whiff or a smell of selfishness. He has given a lot to the community. He has given a lot to everybody. He is a big contributor. He is the one whose nature is such that you can live with him without expecting any sharp reactions. He will accept what you will say. High level of acceptability is there in Karma Yogi. ठीक है, many things I don't like, but I accepted it. It's fine. The time of coming back to acceptance is faster in a Karma Yogi. In other words, he is in terms with God. He has seen the Virat. Moment you in terms with God, you evaluate a situation only with one person. In thinking of a person, you think of the whole and then think the person. You don't see the situation only from one personal angle, or he had done it or I had done it. You see the whole and then you scan the time and space and see the bigness and then see this incident is very small. This changing of the vision is Karma Yogi. In the whole scheme of this is a small event. Or my work was very small considered to so many big work was going on. They went to Newton and they said, you discovered so many laws. You are a genius. He was wandering on the sea beach. He just picked up a sand in his hand. He said, as much sand particles are there in the whole ocean, this much only I have known. This much as is in my palms. So that is great about it. So Karma Yogi, vision is very big that okay, I accept it. And whatever is there, I will do it for my God or for the community. I am not important. The joy, the bigness of the God, of the Guru is more important. It's my personal sorrow, joys have no meaning in my life. Slowly he'll get dispassionate from his personal sorrows, joys. This is Karma Yogi. A person, this is called matured person maturing into acceptability without rejectability. Contribution without calculation. He doesn't calculate, I did this for you. He has grown up. He is shock taker. He is not trouble creator, he is trouble shooter. This is first stage. Second stage, when he goes, he sees, I think God has graced me more. I did not deserve certain things and really I got it. This is called, slowly a devotee has come up. Devotee means who feels, I think, there is a relation with the God here. Therefore, when I say, when Guruji came here in this temple, this was the season. He came on 30th or 26th of October somewhere. And 4th November was the inauguration of the temple. So first, instead of coming in the main hall, he went to the temple. And all painting and all things were going on. You know what he said? It would take 1 month to complete. 1 month's work is remaining. And it was heavily raining. Those who were there, they will know it. So we had put mark in everything. And on third night, second or third night, everything was brand new and completed. The rain did not stop. When I told you, somebody is completed, he said, I told you. हमने तो कहा था. There is somebody else. There was hardly money. This block which you see, this block, Narayan block, what you call. There's no money for that. Even hardly we are struggling to get this temple. That already will take more than 1 million. You remember that? Then you came forward. So, he said, let's move ahead. It is not the work that was completed. It was somebody's love, somebody's grace, somebody's joy. That was more realized than the outer building. Outer building is secondary. This is called upasak is born or a devotee is born. If from the action devotee is not born, that action is useless as per Bhagavad. Karma swanishtita pumsam vishwak sen kathasuya notpaded yati radim shamevi kevalam. Well, if that karma has not brought a devotee, then I think you had wasted your time. It was a labor only. This is second stage. Third stage, same God introduces the teacher and tells you what is your essential nature. This is the third stage. And fourth stage is dwelling upon that is called yogi here, nididhyasana. And here, Bhagavan Krishna is saying, of all the four, this meditator is the best. Because he is about to touch the goal and be free. This is the essence of the shlok. I will see it tomorrow. Time is over. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Hari Om.